Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and appreciate the witnesses being here. It is an interesting subject. Until I was preparing for this hearing, I didn't realize that this had been a source of great litigation. It surprised me. I've gotten a message from my eye doctor. I haven't been in a number of years, and they said, hey, it's really time you come back. I'm glad they let me. I hadn't even thought about it. So when it comes to healthcare-related communications, that can really be a great help to get notices like that. So I'm wondering, for anybody, how can the FCC be more clear that healthcare-related communications, though they technically may not have been requested or may fill out we may not have, I don't know if I filled out anything indicating I'm open to getting notices of the need for appointments, but how can they make it more clear that that would be an exception and be okay for anybody?
I can tell you, the problem is that there are a few exceptions that were listed in 2015 related to healthcare, but they're very narrow exceptions that also—
And they're specifically listed.
Very specific. So the problem is when Walgreens settled for $11 million recently, as Mr. Hoffman noticed, that was for flu shot reminder text messages. I'm sorry. No, that was prescription refill reminder text messages. Rite Aid right now is being sued for flu shot reminders. I have worked with various people in the medical profession who want to do as your eye doctor did and send text messages and are so nervous to do it because of the TCPA and the litigation that could ensue. I've represented a blood bank that had people sign up to get text messages every time you were available again, and then that phone number was provided for a relative and not the person who was actually signing the form, and then the relative said, now I'm going to sue you because I'm not the one who said, tell me when I can deliver blood again. So the FCC was very—
So what would be the remedy to making clear that these should be exceptions?
That it's not marketing calls, that when they are about health and reminders and it's something to do with your health process, that it shouldn't be covered in here. And of course, people can always retain the ability to opt out if they don't like those messages. So you could have replied stop to that, and at that point it becomes a different ballgame.
And as we're talking, I'm wondering if plaintiffs might have a claim, plaintiffs who get the flu because they didn't get notices because the plaintiff's firm sued, if they might have a claim against the plaintiff's firm because the plaintiff's firm hadn't sued, they would have gotten their flu shot notice, they would have gotten the shot and wouldn't have gotten the flu. Anyway, just thinking out loud. Should the FCC release some kind of information to indicate existing emergency exemptions are available to allow communications for those emergency situations? Do you think that would be helpful?
Mr. Gohmert, you put your finger on two of the big issues that surround this TCPA matter altogether. One is the ambiguities that exist with the statute. And two is how do you really put into policy some common sense, right? So you're talking about the ability to have your eye doctor or some healthcare provider contact you with a very reasonable, legitimate purpose. Mr. Sweeney talked about his capacity to provide emergency alert or emergency information to his clients. These are all basic fundamental functions of what we want. I mean, when we sign up for things, we can certainly opt out, but we want that information. I think with respect to the FCC, I'm no longer there, so I'm not speaking on their behalf, but just based on my short time there, I would suggest that this line of inquiry is ripe for further review by the Commission as it looks at TCPA another time, the second time around. We're waiting for a circuit court opinion, as you know, to come out, and I think that given a newly constituted FCC, there may be a different approach. So I would suggest that any encouragement you might provide this body to that independent
So
agency.
you want the FCC to clarify?
Absolutely, sir. I think the FCC should do so. I think is given the authority under the statute to promulgate the rules and the regulations.
So
And
that's something you'd like to see?
yes, sir.
All right, thank you. Appreciate your being here. Thank you.